Have you ever documented your memories in a mini album? I have to confess, I've only created a few because I was concerned about the time involved. Hello everyone, it's Miss Carrie from Miss Carrie's Creations. Today, I'm going to show you a sweet mini album that was simple to create, and I'm going to share a few tips that accelerated my creative process. Let's take a look at the supplies we'll be using today. For the pages of the album, I'll be using the Nested Arches die from Hip Kit Club. There are multiple shapes in this collection, ranging in size from 1.5 inches by 3 up to 4 by 5.5 inches. Most of the embellishments I'm using are from the February embellishment kit. This kit comes with an assortment of pocket pieces that I'll be using for pages. Some can be folded to create the pocket, and others are flat designs. In my previous video, I used these pockets like pattern paper behind my photo. Today, I'm going to show you how to use them to hold tags and as standalone pages. In addition to the pocket pieces, the embellishment kit has a set of puffy shape stickers, ombre letters, these beautiful glitter hearts, and chipboard pieces. If you wish to recreate this project, I've provided you with a list of the supplies I'm using in the description below. Most of the pages for this album will be cut from the February Pocket Life collection. This collection includes 6x8 pocket cards and full-page prints. I'm cutting pages using 3 sizes of the arch shapes. I cut 4 from the larger arch, 2 from the mid-size 5-inch arch, and a few from the smaller 3.5-inch shape. The Pocket Life kit comes with 2 pages of printed designs that can be cut out using these PL dies. I will be using the tags, tabs, and labels as embellishments on my pages. I just need to match up the die with the printed images, secure it in place with some mint tape, and run it through my die cutting machine. These designs are filled with all sorts of shapes and phrases that are the perfect size for mini albums or planners. And with those PL dies, you can cut everything out all at once. Not only can you use these metal dies to cut out your PL images, but you can also use them to cut out tags and labels from other paper collections. All right, now that everything is cut out, I am going to use my cinch machine to create the holes for the coil. I cut out a sample card as a template so that I could figure out what would fit on the pages above the binding. Here's another tip for you. Dry fit the elements on your pages ahead of time. I have learned that it's best to plan out every page with die cuts, photos, and large embellishments. I clipped all the pieces together on the page, then I decided the order of the pages based on the colors and shapes. This allowed me to make quick creative decisions without a thought about visual triangles or matching elements. I did that later when I started to assemble the pages. Now I want to walk you through each of the album elements. Instead of sharing every little step, I plan to share some tips that make the assembly process go faster. For example, this album is a gift and the person who receives it will be adding their own photos. To make it easier, I'm adding a white backer to each frame and creating a pocket with foam tape. This will allow the recipient to slide the photos right into the frames in the album. This is the back page of the album, and it came together really quickly because all the elements were picked ahead of time. Now I'm going to bring in the next page. This one is a smaller arch shape that will layer over the larger frame. I selected an ombre frame with purple hues and a yellow frame for this page. Those paired perfectly with the frame and the tab on the back page. When I arranged all my pre-planned pages, I put these two together because those colors matched. I decided to place this next page below because it has a yellow envelope, which matches the other yellow elements on the surrounding pages. The florals and the butterfly patterns also play well together. To make this easier to assemble, I'm using a scoring tool to create the fold lines. You could try to manipulate this by hand, but I discovered that the score lines create a crisper edge that lays flatter in the album. When you plan your pages, you don't have to pick out the matching elements right away. I didn't select anything for the inside of this envelope because I wanted to make sure that the item I chose matched the surrounding pages. Since most of the colors here have a soft lilac, I'm going to add a little pocket card in the same color. To bring in some more yellow, I'll place a little tab here at the top. I'm going to finish this off with a depth blue colored phrase. This color matches the butterfly stamp above. All right, let's continue to move through the album. I have this one partially assembled. The navy pocket life card on the lower page has a pink frame and a title. Above, I've laid a yellow pattern from a pocket life card, and I added a little stitching to that. I'm going to bring in this sizzle pink chipboard piece. It matches the frame here. I also want to bring in a multicolored element to match my title. This puffy banner is the perfect size for the page. My tags were cut from pocket life cards using the PL dies. This tag was cut from this pattern here because it matches the colors in my title. The navy one matches the frame below, and it was cut from the printed PL sheet. These were quick to assemble because the basic pieces were already selected. All I had to do was balance out the page with a few additional elements. We're down to our last few pages. The next page has a sweet little pocket from the pocket pack. To make this sit flat in the album, I burnished the folds with a bone folder before I sat it in place. Now I just need to line up the cinch holes with the ones on my pattern page. You can see that I did add some stitching to this pocket. The zigzags were created with my sewing machine. I just ran the pocket through before I assembled it. In this pocket, I'm adding another library card, a chipboard tag, and a printed pocket life tag. The page below has multiple items that are similar in color. I have an ombre frame that matches the colors of the tags and a darker blue frame. I don't have much of that color on the page above, so I brought in a phrase sticker to the library card. I also added a chipboard circle with those darker blue letters. Now the pink heart in the center stood out quite a bit, so I added a puffy phrase and a butterfly in similar colors. This formed a nice visual triangle of pink elements. I forgot to point out that I stitched the smaller arch onto that larger page. Since I had planned the pages ahead of time, I knew that the stitching here would be hidden by this pocket. This is just another benefit to pre-planning your pages. The floral tag I'm adding to this page was cut from another pocket card using the PL die. Like I said, I use these dies for so much more than cutting pocket life pieces. The next two pages are pockets. Again, I ran these through the cinch before assembling them. As I quickly adhere these together, I would love it if you took a moment to tap the subscribe button and let me know that you're new here. If you're already a subscriber and are enjoying this mini album project, let me know by tapping the thumbs up icon or leaving me a comment below. I always enjoy reading your comments and hearing how a project inspired you. All right, we are down to the front page of the album. To make this cover sturdier, I stitched 2 layers of pattern paper together. You could also add a layer of chipboard if you like. The frame on this page matches the pink pocket, and the florals on the bike are creating diagonal flow up to the flowers by the typewriter. The red-orange typewriter is a really bold piece, so I want to bring in more of that color. I'm going to add this chipboard element here that says love, and then I'm going to bring up a layer of tags up here. These are two smaller PL tags with a larger chipboard over the top. Our final page is the cover of the album. Now, I know that this seems a bit backwards, but your cover should reflect all the pieces that you've placed inside the album. Since I really only planned out the large elements, not the details and phrases, I wanted to wait before I put the cover together. In the album, there are multiple love and family sentiments. There's florals, tags, and hearts. So I'm going to put all those pieces together on the cover. I began with a sizzle pink pocket, then started adding the word love with these little Scrabble chipboard pieces. Above those letters, I brought in some florals. Inside of the pocket, I'm adding a tag, heart, and chipboard frame. I know it seems a bit odd to add a frame here, but I needed something in that mint green color to match the leaves on the florals. All the items in this pocket are design elements only. They aren't for function. So I made the chipboard frame almost look like a tag with a little circle tab at the top. All right, I'm going to finish assembling this album, and then I'll share the completed piece with you. I put all the pages together with a large wire coil. On the front, we have that sweet little pocket with the love letters and florals. I added a little clip here and some twine to the tag. On the next two pages, I added some twine to the tags and a few little dots. These dots were left over from a previous hip kit collection. The tags come out of the pockets and they're a perfect place for photos and journaling. I didn't add anything to the back of the tags because this album was already pretty bulky and these patterns are just too cute to cover. The next pocket page is rather simple with some tags, a heart, and a butterfly. On the back, we have the layered frames and the lovely little butterfly. I also brought in some florals up here to the tag to match the colors of the florals below. The next two pages are also filled with color. The previous pages have more blues and purples, while these start to bring in some yellow and pink. And then we finish off this album with the yellow envelope, that little arch page, and the large frame. How cute is that? So are you ready to give this little album project a try? Most of the items I used today are part of the February Hip Kit collection. If you're a member of the Hip Kit Club, you can choose between the full-size monthly kit or the Pocket Life kit. You save $5 on those kits and 15% on coordinating items, which ship free with the main kit. If you would like to recreate this album using the nested arch dies and the pockets in the embellishment kit, then it's worth becoming a member. If you'd like to learn more, I've added the details in the description below. I want to thank you for joining me for another paper crafting project. If you'd like to see more of my creations, you can visit my channel or follow Miss Carrie's Creations online. If you have any questions about the project or supplies listed below, feel free to leave me a comment. I hope you have a wonderful week and I can't wait to see what you create.